friends, and welcome to 10 Points Under, where we definitely started this fire. This is Big Bullfrog, and joining me today for the first time on this channel is Heroscaper RyGuy. RyGuy, how's it going?
Dude, it's going great. It's so good to hear that intro again.
I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to be here. Big fan of the channel, so looking forward to this game.
Yeah, and I'm excited to have you here as well. For the listeners, I mean, I feel like our listeners probably already, or listeners, viewers, whoever, YouTube actually has a podcast thing now, so maybe they are just listeners. I don't know. But for those of you consuming the content, RyGuy is a somewhat new, well, I guess not a hugely newer Heroscaper at this point. Just, newer to these videos, the first time on this video, but that's more due to the extended leave of absence that the channel has had over the past year-ish, rather than any part on RyGuy's. But good player. He's been showing up in a good amount of events online, making some waves. His tournament win is only, it's just right there in the future. You can almost taste it, I'm sure.
One day. One day. Yeah, I mean, I was a toddler when Gen Con was going on, so I gotta get them in now while I can.
Yeah? Do you have any plans on going to ScapeCon at all, or?
At some point. I won't make it this year, but definitely in the future I want to experience something like that. But yeah, I mean, the online community has been super welcoming and great to get into for a newish Heroscaper. I mean, I'm approaching about 1 year on the online scene, which pales in comparison to even these players on the board here.
Right.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to watching this game and seeing how it unfolds. Hopefully I can provide some useful insight, or at least colorful enough commentary that it doesn't matter if it's empty.
Hey, that's what we strive to do here on 10 Points Under, is not necessarily insight, but at least colorful commentary.
Yes, exactly.
All right, but yeah, so speaking about this match, and I'll bring this over for the viewers who are interested. So we've got a blast from the past. This is a quad pod game from Online Heroscape Season 42. This game itself is almost a year old. Honestly, at time of posting, since there's going to be some delay there, it might be probably not quite a year old, but we'll be getting close to that anniversary there. But just to kind of point out what is going on here, so for those who are new to Quad Pod, basically both players bring 4 armies. So I believe Captain Stupendous would have brought these top 4, Veggie would have brought these bottom 4, and then they just take turns drafting from those pods. And fortunately, Veggie recorded the drafting process for us here, so we can even see the order and all that stuff. So Captain Stupendous picked first, going with this pod of Bull, Van Nessing, Maro Stingers. You can see that here on the bottom. Apologies if that's a little bit blurry. It's a little bit blurry on my computer. I'm going to see if I can sharpen that up in post. We'll see. But so he grabbed 2 squads of Maro Stingers, Van Nessing, Bull, and then Veggie grabbed his 2 pods with RyGuy, 2 squads of Phantom Knights, and then 4 Hoplotrons and Major X-17, which is cool to see an X-17 appearance. And then Captain Stupendous was able to take one of the last, one of the remaining pods for his final part of his army, and he grabbed Maltese, Morgoloth, and then a squad of Mesodemon Warmongers. So some interesting synergy going on there. Some we were talking about before we started up, some interesting synergy and anti-synergy with these pods going down here. Let's see, we talked a little bit about the pods, but RyGuy, to kick it off to you a little bit, do you have a favored player in this, or an army that you would rather play, or somebody who you think has got a better chance going into this?
I mean, I really like both these picks. I I really like Captain Stupendous's first pick. Maro Stingers are a really solid squad, even in small quantities. Also, a
Mm-hmm.
squad that can be absolutely game changing in a situation in an endgame where you're already losing and you go for that big stinger drain. If you miss it, well, you were already losing. But if you hit it, you know, that could be a victory for you. And Van Nessing actually really solid into a lot of these other pods, with his special actually being really good into Phantom Knights, which was Vesi's second pick,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't hate because Phantom Knights, of course, are fantastic into stingers. And so you have, this sort of rock, paper, scissors where, of course, the Mezzademons are going to be very good into the Phantom Knights with their staying power and their extra attack dice. And then the Hoplotrons and Major X-17 are going to be very solid into the Warmongers since there is only two of them. And their high defense should be able to offset that poison cloud. So I would partially favor the Van Nessing army, especially because on that map, you mentioned this map had been updated for ScapeCon, since this is 2 years old now, approaching 2 years. There's a really nice uh, three hex area of a 2 height and then a 3 height right next to the start zone. That's just a beautiful, yeah, right there. That's just a
Yeah.
beautiful setup for a squad of stingers. I mean, that's a frustrating part of the map to play around if you can get stingers set up on there. You've got Phantom Knights. Even the Phantom Knights are going to be attacking up into 4 defense, and the Stingers are going to just have really solid stats on there. So I think the Stingers are going to be very good on this map. But we'll see. We'll see how that's utilized. Load-in obviously is going to make a difference. And we talked briefly about Kelda before the game. I mean, whoever grabs that glyph is going to be sitting very pretty. Um, Veggie probably wants Van Nessing to, or no, sorry, Captain Stupendous. I think Van Nessing probably wants Van Nessing to hop onto there at some point. Veggie would probably want Morgoloth to hop on there. Those seem like the best choices, although I could see X-17 also making a play for that at some point, for Veggie. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent analysis there. Looking at like, I think that's a good point of this little hill here, being a very good defensive position. We'll see how it. But again, yeah, I'm really interested to see how this plays out. And I guess that said, we can go ahead and kick off the recording
Yeah, let's do it.
and see how it plays out.
I'll be very curious to see these first order markers. Okay, so no one goes all in on a squad, which I think is the right move,
Mm-hmm.
um, because you don't want your opponent to have picked a counter squad, uh, and then you're already at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so if you go all stingers, but your opponent goes all phantom knights, Veggie is at a huge advantage. Um, but if uh, if Captain Stupendous happens to go all Van Nessing and Veggie goes Phantom Knights, well, uh, you know, Luke is at a huge advantage there into Veggie. So I think it's a smart play for both of them to kind of spread around their order markers and develop up a little more slowly, especially because, Veggie's got the range advantage, and you can see he's already put a stinger on that 3 hex. Not necessarily height, because there are places to attack it from height, from range, but height to any melee figure.
Right. Which is the
So
majority of Veggie's army, I guess. Or RyGuy has the grenade that he could. Well, actually, grenading into there might be nice if it's totally full,
yeah,
but you've also got
yeah,
got to get really close for that.
hmm, yeah. So yeah, G obviously, um, or Captain Stupendous making good use of the map so far.
Yep, and we'll see. Yep, he's starting to
Putting
cluster up there.
even more on there. Yep. Yeah, see that's just such a frustrating position to try and assault. Um, and it really is. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Veggie to take that out. But the nice thing is, with very fast Phantom Knights and the Stingers having good range but not great range, he's got a little bit of time to set things up as he
Hmm.
wants. He could, yeah. So he's moving Jared Guy up, pulling a Veggie's big brain play of tossing a grenade into there. At least making that a threat. Um,
And honestly, I kind of just want that to happen now. Like, I just want to see a
I
bunch of
no,
stingers
I
get.
want to see a perfect 3 out of 3 into that. Um, okay, and his Luke's 3 is on Van Nessing. That definitely makes some sense. Um,
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, I guess probably be a bit more reserved with the nesting for right now, because like you were saying, you don't want to like overextend and then get hammered by your opponent's stuff. That is one thing I like about Quad Pod is like forcing people to have different elements to their armies. I like the order marker juggling that comes from that.
yeah, no, I agree. In a lot of ways, it armies end up looking sort of similar to reverse the whip armies that tend to have
Hmm.
a lot more complex synergies that you want your opponent to have to play into and make. Obviously, the more complex order marker wise an army is, the better it's going to play for a more experienced player. Um, so pod armies end up looking like that as well, with both players wanting to make their synergies as complex as possible and hope that they're able to outmaneuver their opponent. Um, Luke taking the shot with and Nessing's double move onto the Phantom Knight. I like that idea. That double move, that double turn, not double move. A double turn is really scary against those Phantom Knights.
It is, yeah.
It's gonna cut through them like butter if you can get 2 attacks of 3 without their insubstantial defense. Um, yeah, so getting him up there is a nice play for sure.
Yeah, I do. It's a little bit risky for me because if he loses initiative, three, four, five. Well, I guess this guy, one, two, three, four, five, can get height on him, but I guess this other one can't get an even ground attack, so it's not that bad. Oh, and
Yeah,
he's going with Jarek Guy
Van Nessing.
anyway.
Okay, interesting. Does not go for Phantom Knights to try and get
Oh,
attacks on
interesting.
Van Nessing. I wonder if that's not because of Kelda. Kelda is going to really
Right.
influence the flow of this game because Van Nessing can get to it in a single order marker. Well, if you include the X tacked onto any
The
order
double.
marker
Mm-hmm.
in a single turn. He could get to it right now if he wanted to, which is terrifying because he can shoot you along the way, right, and fully heal. So, Veggie could pull those Phantom Knights out of position to attack Van Nessing, but they're going to be easy pickings for melee stingers, and Van Nessing is just could easily heal if you don't get him in one hit.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like being able to keep Nessing within range of Kelda at all times and be like, yeah, I can take wounds. I don't care. Disengagement doesn't matter because I can just run to it. And also, even like
It's,
if Nessing's over here, like say Nessing was like right here, he could like hop on Kelda with his first turn and then hop back off and like jump up here or wherever. Um,
yeah,
the flexibility of Van Nessing is very nice.
he's a great piece. I really like his inclusion in the pod. Yeah, especially with uh with Keldaglyph on the map, it makes more and more sense as a first pick um, for Captain Stupendous. Um, Going in and making the melee attack, I don't hate that either. Especially because yeah, so he's going to get the holy relic or the divine mission normal attack bonus. Um,
Oh
would
yeah,
really wail on a Phantom Knight here. Uh, yeah, that's scary. I don't know. I guess revealing the X now, you get the bonus, but then suddenly, and he gets the kill, but now you lose your ability to get onto Kelda whenever
Right.
you.
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
concern
but
there. And here comes the
Veggie saying,
grenade.
I'll just ignore Van Nessing. I'm going straight for the grenade. Oh, and a 1 out of 3. That's not what you want to see.
Man,
Oh, but he gets a kill. Yep, you only need one.
that's true. All
Okay.
right, so one
Stupendous
kill.
goes through. I like that. I like that play a lot.
Right, and
He's
following up
saying,
with
well,
stingers.
Jarek can kill more stingers than you can kill Phantom Knights with Van Nessing. So
Just a
the
race.
heroes, the heroes have just fully crossed over into each other's territories and are now taking taking their turns on the squads. That's fantastic. 2 on the stingers. Um,
Yeah, we'll see if I wonder if because this is like you said earlier, just such a good perch. But yeah, with Jarek Guy right there, it'll be you've got to scramble a little bit with stingers to you know try to negate or at least reduce the chance of strong grenades going off.
yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And I gotta say, I yeah, I do
Oh
like the
no!
stingers today. Oh, and he goes for it and fails the stinger drain. Well, see
Don't
now
no.
I don't like the stinger play.
Yeah, me neither. Well,
Actually,
I
now,
like the play. I don't like the drain. Like, you didn't need to
man,
drain there. It would have been nice, but I think
yeah,
against Jarek Guy, where he's got his exosuit already, he's already got a chance to negate any damage. So I just go for the safer play there.
yeah,
But also
that,
easy for me to say when I'm watching. So
yeah, that could have been a critical mistake. And man,
oh,
see
double oh
now
no.
how Van Nessing is sleeping in uh in Phantom Knight territory. Scary.
Yeah, it takes 4 wounds right there. Yeesh. So not the start that Captain Stupendous was
Mhm.
looking for.
I I wonder if Captain Stupendous wasn't expecting all Phantom Knights and thought maybe they'd rush in for the Stingers. But then I don't know
Maybe.
why you put your 1 and your X on Van Nessing.
Yeah. It seemed like I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not certain on that.
and he goes for Stinger Drain again and just squeaks by
Yeah, no help.
with nothing happening at least.
Okay, so takes 2 wounds for
King
Guy.
Jarrett,
Not
his
bad.
most reasonable target. Okay. 2 for 4.
No
Oh,
block.
and a huge block with a 2 for 3. Oh, he gets another 2 for 4 though. Misses
Oh,
the
nice.
Exo.
All
Now
right.
Jarrett goes down. No, 1 life left. Wow.
Yeah.
Sneaking by. Yeah, it is 5.
Oh, and dies to the lava. There you
Oh,
go.
the Stinger does too. Wow,
And
one
Stinger
Stinger's
dies.
safe.
Okay, so let's see. So Jarek Guy down. 2 Stingers total down. Van Nessing though is almost dead. Interesting, interesting round there.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is playing really fast.
Yeah,
We've got 2 heroes, 1 hero down, 1 5 health hero down, and 1 5 health hero at 1 life left. Um,
right.
yeah,
Oh, three
with the
Stingers.
range and the mobility of the Phantom Knights, this map is playing very quickly. Um, if you are Captain Stupendous, do you put your 1 and your X on Van Nessing and risk disengage to get to Kelda?
I was just thinking about that.
That's
Um,
tempting.
it
It
is
is
very
really tempting.
tempting. Um, but like if you lose initiative, you could just die, or you could just die to the disengage. But if you get that Kelda, then that feels great.
It's
I don't
so
know.
intriguing. Yeah.
I
The
think with
other
how
thing
many
is, if
Stingers
you
I've
don't
got
put it
dead.
on Van Nessing, you have great options otherwise to put your
Right.
order markers on. Because
Exactly.
the Stingers are up ready to get, they're not going to get adjacent to the Phantom Knights. I suppose one could be attacking up. Um, it just doesn't feel great otherwise. You kind of want that first turn on Nessing and hopefully get him out of there and get to Kelda and then let the Phantom Knights come to you, survive a couple attacks up, and hope you can ride it out with your 2 and 3 on the Stingers. That's what I would certainly be thinking about, and I think that's why he's taking so long to set order markers here. Is he's
Yeah.
thinking about the exact same thing?
Making that
and
decision. Oh, he's going for it.
3, and he's got 2 on Van Nessing. And he gets him with the 17. Oh, 1 on the Hoplitron.
Hoplitron engage. Okay,
Coming
doesn't
in
kill him,
that-
but a triple engage. So even if he survives, which he
Yeah.
does survive.
Oh, he gets a clutch block though.
Oh man, but he can't triple disengage. That's just death. But he does get 2 turns now, so he can strike back.
He does get to deal damage. Wow, Van Nessing really with the normal attack.
Oh, nice. And then he can move up and take that spot too. Awesome.
That's fantastic luck. Taking down the 1 out of 5.
Oh, man. If he got that kill as well, that would be that'd be very. I mean, it's already nice that he's able to survive both attacks and then tie up both Hoplotrons and move into a better position.
Yeah, because now they're not locked in. He's not locked in with them. They're locked in with him. He's totally flipped that momentum, and now he's tying down those Hoplotrons.
Yeah, and Veggie feels like he needs to just finish off Nessing, and Nessing
so solid.
So if you've been trying to use Van Nessing as an offensive piece, obviously defensive is the way to go. Get him down to 1 life and tie up 4 figures.
Good. Okay, yeah, see 2 on the Stingers. Because now you've got opponent's figures in range.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably he's going for the Hoplotrons.
Yeah, makes sense to take some shots down.
Crazy to go for a Stinger Drain here. I don't think he goes for it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. You've got 4v6.
You know what? He might be crazy enough. We've seen him we've seen him do it twice already.
Well, and it's a good, like you mentioned earlier, it's a good comeback tool. I don't know that he needs to come back at the. I think we're still even enough that it's not quite worth the risk.
It's still a close game, for sure. Morgaloth sitting back there with Kelda still in play.
Yeah.
Really nice. X17 being on the wrong side of the map right now, although Morgaloth is a little too, but...
Alright, no drain. Good call. And kills 1
no
hop.
Drain, and yeah, he gets the kill without it.
Nothing for the second.
Okay,
But I think
you're happy to have
hop
just 1 out of those go through.
Yeah. Then number 3 on Phantom Knights.
Yeah. And he's got a chance to get height here, but then they'd be sitting on lava. So yeah, he's opting for the even ground,
Attacking up.
low
Interesting.
ground attacks.
I mean, it's working.
Yeah, if he's rolling like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That does it.
That's impressive. 3 into 4s both go through.
Oh, and then Morgaloth comes into play. Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I like that actually. It's time. With Kelda still on the board, and Veggie still having 4 Phantom Knights to your 1 Stingers, it's time. That double attack is going to be devastating if he can get back the initiative flip and get in there to the Phantom Knights.
Oh yeah, if he comes in here,
2 attacks of 5, that's going to be...
That'd be beautiful for him.
Yeah, reducing down a squad. That's so nice. And then he's on the road to get right next to Kelda. Of course, Van Nessing is actually not a terrible first option either.
That's true.
And that might also
he survives
be what
anything.
he's deciding between right now, because man, you're not going for Kelda still with the double disengage, but you could get 2 more kills just as easily with Morgaloth. Okay, but he does go all Morgaloth. Veggie splits between Phantoms, yeah, and he doesn't get the initiative flip. So, Morgaloth probably the right play there.
Yeah, I think that was a good, safe choice. And Phantom Knights can now... I mean, I think you definitely get 1 there. I wonder if he goes for an attack on Van Nessing still, or if he just like goes in against Stingers and starts trying to pick stuff up. Oh yeah, going against a Mezzo down there too. That's a good choice.
Not a bad idea. Wow. especially when the Phantom Knights are attacking like that. 3 out of 3.
Oh, these
Wow, and three
they
out of
have very
four on
hot
Morganath. Okay.
dice.
Wow, that's impressive. 1 exoskeleton, blast stinger dead, and a wound on Morgulath. These Phantom Knights are having fantastic turns.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. Um, of course, Van Nessing being their weakness on the other side of the board. Not being able to get
Right.
any more wounds on him after that first big blow. But yeah, getting wounds on Morgulath feels nice, but at the same time, does he end up burning that off? And yeah, he's disengaging from that Phantom Knight to the other Phantom Knight with a couple attacks of 5 and slide a little closer to Kelda
Yeah,
on
I think
that
that's
side
a
of the
great
board.
choice there.
And of course, get the height attack away, um, because he's still not sure. Uh, Veggie still has order markers on both Phantoms and Hoplotrons. Wow, and
Just
Hoplotron's
cannot get that
not
there.
quite able to kill Van Nessing, and I don't
Man,
know. Do you bring in at what point do you bring in X-17 to lock down Van Nessing?
I don't know. That's a good choice. I was actually kind of hoping, and I think it'd take too long. I mean, the attacks are definitely the way to go. But like at this point, just like push him there, push him into the lava, just like get rid of him. I think would be hilarious.
That's not a bad idea either. Wow. Okay, Morgulath not doing much on the other side of the board either. Phantom Knight with a clutch 3 out of 5.
Man,
Okay, but Van
yeah, just
Nessing will just
matching.
not go down.
And those shield pushes
Oh,
aren't working
okay.
to even
Attempting
things
the
out
shield
either.
push. That's smart. Oh, and a 3 out of 5
Oh my
from Van
gosh.
Nessing. Incredible defense.
I need to show
Wow.
my figures this game and say, yeah, this Van Nessing thing, do that for me, please.
This is this is how you do it, guys. Um, wow. Van Nessing with real main character energy right now.
Oh yeah.
Um, absolutely refusing to go down. Wow, and that Phantom Knight not giving up
Also,
either with 6 out of 10
maybe it's
defense.
just this spot on the board. Like, you just cannot contend with that spot.
It's unassailable. Well, and part of me
Like you
wonders
said.
if that wasn't part of the redesign of this map. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what the new forest fire looks like, but spots like that can be very frustrating.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
did you winning initiative? Both order markers on 2
Oh,
on
there are
Phantoms,
two
2
on
on
Nessing.
Hoplitrons. Captain Stupendous definitely going for the Van Nessing play. That could backfire.
And
Oh,
dang
and Van
it.
Nessing finally gives up the ghost.
Oh, the pressure got to him.
Oh, that's painful. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that'll be
he's
his
gonna
first
lose that order
turn.
marker 1, which hurts. Nessing survives, definitely takes out some things, or you win initiative, or you're in a really good place. I don't hate that play. I really don't. Because the the thing about a risky play like that, or a play that could lose you an order marker, is there's not too much drawback. Because with Veggie's 2, he wasn't actually able to hit anything. So there was sort of a dead turn in there, and Veggie got some positioning, I guess. But, um, did Luke really lose that much by losing that order marker? I don't think so. So I think it was worth the risk. Um, that Phantom Knight is still a thorn in his
Yeah,
side.
that one is
Uh,
sticking around like crazy.
yeah, that single hex height, not on lava.
This is a
Such
very
an
strong
uncomfortable
spot,
spot
yeah.
for your opponent to hit. Wow. But yeah, it's turn 3 on Hoblotrons. They're not really getting anywhere either. So Morgulath, presumably after his eighth or ninth attempt on that Phantom Knight, is able to take him out, and then probably swing back to the start zone to take out that other Phantom Knight. Maybe you move up Morgulath and put to Mezzos for just a turn on your next round. But yeah, if I'm Oh no.
Oh,
Another
finally.
3 blocked. Oh, and it finally goes down.
That was crazy
Attack 8,
defense.
I believe. Attack 8 up on that Phantom Knight finally goes through. Wow. Yeah, that's a small moral victory there for Luke.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good, regardless of where you're at in the game.
Just to finally take that thing
Finally taking
down.
down that figure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so they're setting up order markers. You definitely are thinking about a turn with the Mezzos just to clear out that Phantom Knight with attacks before, but Morgulath could just as easily do the trick.
Right.
So I think Luke's got some flexibility here. Veggie still wants to go Phantoms to get possibly another exoskeleton marker out of the way. Because that really leaves the Mezzos vulnerable. And he does get the initiative. Veggie gets the initiative that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it is the Phantoms, yeah. That makes sense. The Phantom here, his start zone isn't getting anywhere, but that's fine.
Right, yeah, it can just move
presumably-
up into a safe spot, and then you can get an attack down here, make it easier for your hops to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've still got, you've got Maltese and Bull in the start zone. You're not too worried about them. It's Morgulath. Keeping Morgulath off of Kelda is the key right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's sort of a race. Does X17 get there first? Because that might decide the game here at this point with it coming down
Interesting.
to
Number
just
one
a couple
Morgulath.
figures on the board, just less than a half dozen figures for each player here. Okay, so Luke does go Morgulath number 1, Captain Stupendous. Assuming the attacks before go through.
There we go.
And they really do. And the thing is, Morgulath has been rolling tremendously well.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently hitting.
It has not been bad dice on
5 to 6
Morgulath's
on
part.
8. But the Phantom Knight rolling somehow better on defense than, I mean, that's fantastic. So both players are in a very good spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Edgy will probably switch to all Hoplotrons at some point here. I assume number 3 is also on Hoplotrons.
Yeah,
So
that'd
that
be my
you've got
guess.
that flexibility to get X17 to Kelda. The scary thing is Luke does not want X17 up next to Morgulath, because that's going to keep him from Kelda just as much as it keeps X17 from Kelda.
Right. But in that brawl down between X17 and Morgulath, I don't know. 2 attacks of 4, but that's against 7.
Yeah, it's
But
a
then the one
close
attack
one.
of 4 at a time. I'd be interested to see. There used to be a site where you could basically plug in figures and have them it would run 1,000 duels or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a cool site, but then they the host site went down or something like that. It's not a thing anymore. But I would love to have that option again because I'd be really interested to see how that goes down.
Yeah, my intuition is X17. Just because he also has an added Hoplotron.
That's true. That's true.
At the moment, but if the Mezzos can do some damage here.
Yeah, if they can
Scott.
take out both hops, 1, 2, 3. Oh, looks like he's going for X17.
Okay, that's smart. Get the range attack off while you can. Although, yeah, X17 can maybe sneak to Kelda before you can do anything.
Right. I'd almost
don't
go
know.
for. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I do here. These are
I
tough
think-
choices.
He's probably thinking about that height. Yeah, that level 4 height, because that's really tempting to get a big attack down. But it looks like he's going for the safer play.
Yeah,
Cool,
and it's
getting
order
2
marker
wounds
3,
on
so it makes
X17.
sense. Oh, that is good. 3 wounds
3
total.
wounds.
Nice.
Wow, okay,
And that
that's
is-
game-changing.
And that's end of round, so if with an initiative switch, you could potentially take out
Yeah,
X17.
boy.
So where I wasn't sure earlier, I am now sure. Captain Stupendous, don't change a thing. You are doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and now Captain Stupendous is feeling very good about his position. Probably still going Mezzos for the first couple turns here. Well, boy, you could lose both of them in turn if you lose this initiative.
That's true too,
That's
yeah.
probably what he's thinking about now is it Morgoloth or is it Mezzos? Because Morgoloth cannot beat X17 to Kelda. That's the problem right now.
Right.
You cannot go full Morgoloth because X17 will beat you to Kelda. So you need to put something on the Mezzos, hope you can kill him before he gets there. The problem is, yeah, if you lose initiative, then X17 skates on over to Kelda and the Hoplotrons engage you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to take that risk. I think you have to put one on Mezzos and hope for 2 more wounds, because you can get height there.
Yeah, I
You
think I
get
agree
the
there.
attack before. I think that's your only option, and we'll see.
Oh, double
Okay, he went 3
19s.
on Mezzos. Yeah. Oh, and the tie. Oh, and
Oh
Veggie beats him on
man.
the tie again.
Oh,
Uh,
heartbreaking.
and that is a critical moment in the game. Yeah, because now X17 is running over to Kelda to take all those wounds off. It's not over because Veggie is down to 4 figures. And Morgoloth is still sitting with only 1 wound.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still anyone's game here, honestly.
And there is a
Although
shot of Mezzos being able to snipe X7. I mean, it's much lower now that he can't get height. Well, I guess depending on if he moves him back.
yeah, Veggie rethinking X17 over there. Interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
going in.
wow, interesting.
And yeah. I
Okay,
wonder
see,
why he
Veggie
made that
feels
decision
like
there.
he's still on the back foot. Ooh, but he does get the kill. Oh, he's trying to take order markers. Or, sorry, he gets the exoskeleton. Gets
And
the
now he
shield
can kill
push.
him for
Okay,
real.
nice.
Oh, and that's a very good shield push and engagement
Yeah.
there. Because now, if he knows that all the order markers are on Mezzos, then boom, yeah, he takes out one of those.
Ooh,
This one's now
that's-
engaged, and
yeah.
so it's got 7 defense on
Yeah.
X17 there. That
Wow.
is a very smart play.
Veggie, that's an incredible play from Veggie. Because yeah, that the Kelda glyph was wide open for him. It
Mm-hmm.
looks so tempting.
Well, I think that
Um,
was like the obvious
but
play, but
he rethinks it and makes a brilliant play, bringing in the heavily wounded X17, to take out just enough Mezzos, to steal at least 1 order marker and possibly
mm-hmm.
2. Although,
Yeah,
um, I would be surprised if it was all 3 on Mezzos. Um, but yeah, even just taking that 1 order marker,
yeah,
that's
very nice.
that's
And that
something.
could, and now since he's done that, he could still run X17 back if he wanted to,
Yeah,
or he could go for the full engagement, depending on just like he's got much more flexibility now.
yeah, that's it's huge. Yeah, what does he want to do with this last Hopotron? Um, it's a question. Uh, Presumably he's thinking about uh tangling up Morgoloth there. Uh, so he knows that if he gets adjacent to Morgoloth, Morgoloth can still get to X17. But yeah, he has an
Yeah, so
extra
pulling back. Okay.
turn. Okay. So X17's in the spot where it's still 2 turns to get to Kelda.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully for Luke, he's got his 3rd on Morgoloth and not the Mezzos. That would have been a very gutsy play.
Right. Yep, there
Okay,
you go.
it
It
is
is
a
Morgloth.
Morgoloth. Yeah, I think you gotta rush in Morgoloth with as much movement as you can possibly get and hope to win an initiative flip here. Um,
Yeah, at
yeah,
this point where
if you
Veggie's
put him
got so
there,
much control.
you're definitely opening up for a height attack there. And obviously you don't love that, but Kelda's
Oh,
still on
here.
the board.
Right, right.
Uh, yeah, and if you get that initiative flip, that 4 height lava looks so sweet on X17.
It does.
Okay. He's
Okay,
getting
so
an
goes
attack
in,
and he
kills
gets a
the
kill. So
knight.
yeah, so he does want to get that 4 height there.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously opening himself up to the heighted attacks there, and if X17 gets that initiative, yeah, I would have preferred closer to the ruin because that keeps you out of X17's range with 5 move. But you have that 6 move, so you could dictate where you wanted that fight to be. Now
Right.
X17 can lock you into that height instead.
And then you're throwing dice up against him.
Yeah, that's not a great place to be 4 into 8.
So yeah, it'll depend on this initiative. Luke still just can't get that
Oh,
initiative that
still
he's looking
connect with
for.
initiative flip, and so yep,
Yep,
Veggie's doing
X17
a play.
in. No dice there
Ooh,
though.
okay.
Okay.
Well, it's something. All right.
Little
1 for
skulls.
10. 1 for 10 on attack dice. Luke is happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you sink these double attacks into?
Let's see. X17 has 2 life. I'd probably take the 4v7s just to try to get rid of an attack.
I agree.
I mean, there's another Hoplitron anyway, but yeah. And then you can go into the X17. Also, because I think there aren't any order markers on X17, right? Like they're all on hops.
There was one,
Was there one?
although
Oh, okay.
it would be quite the surprise if that was not the X. Okay, yeah. So the Hoplitron with the 5 out of 5.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that
Immediately kill Morgaloth.
tragic.
Unbelievable. Wow, coming back with a vengeance. Wow, I can't believe we just saw that.
Man.
Okay, well, it's all up to Bull now. Getting those order markers
Bull,
on
our
him,
conquering hero.
Okay, interesting. Rushing up Bull.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and X17
Yeah,
taking off.
okay.
Hoplitron going in against Bull. You got this, little guy. You don't got this, little guy.
Oh, goes down. Wow, that was a painful initiative to lose.
Yeah.
That was the game right there. I still think if you place him by the ruin, where X17 can't engage you, on his next turn, I think that was the better play. You don't get the Phantom Knight kill, but that's not what you care about.
Right, at that
Okay,
point, like, that's just going to be kind of extra. Maltus coming in to play.
Yeah.
We'll see what she can do.
It's definitely favoring, it's definitely favoring Veggie right now. Although if he gets this kill, he could steal an order marker, and then he would have time hit X17.
That would be great.
Whoa, and he doesn't get the kill. That's a bummer. Yeah. Oh, but it's the one on X17 anyway. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, but
I guess guaranteeing that happens works.
yeah. And yeah, now you're just throwing 2 dice up into 7 dice. And
right. I don't know why. Not sure why Maltus isn't disengaging there to then go in with that first assault, but.
Yeah, I think you want to, but I think it has to be at the start of his turn. So you can't disengage and then get the first assault.
Oh, no. So, because Maltus has the repositioning power at the end of her turn, where she can like jump back a space and then attack in again. Could have done that. I mean, like, it's small things to try to increase your odds, which
it's a losing battle here.
Yeah.
That 5-on-5 on Morgaloth pushing 4 wounds through, that was quite remarkable.
Yeah, once that happens, I mean, I think it's safe to say the game is basically over. There's small chances for things to happen, as with as with any dice game, but
right. Yeah, well, even just the 1v1 into X17 negates that first assault too.
Oh yeah, right, that too. So
That's a tough one. Yeah, he just needed that Morgaloth play to work, or Morgaloth to at least survive one more turn and maybe get another wound on X17, so that he has to think about a leaving disengagement to get closer to Kelda. Because then Maltese has time with his high speed. He's got a lot more time to hit X17 with an attack of 4 or 5. Maybe knock him out of the game before he gets there. But man, what a game. That was that went back and forth. That was incredible.
that was a very good game to watch. I was very happy with that one.
Yeah, wow, that was so much fun. Van Nessing, outperforming as he always seems to do. Definitely underutilized character. Non-bonding heroes tend to not always see play, but in this draft format, you see weird things pop up. Morgaloth without without any support for him did work. Morgaloth did work. Yeah, X17 is a tough matchup, but Captain Stupendous did really well using the mesos into him and using his range into him. It was, yeah, the rock paper scissors of Heroscape was in full effect in so many ways here. So we really got to see some impressive work, and I think Veggie, the most impressive play to me was Veggie, instead of going for the oh so tempting play of just moving X17 out of the way back safely towards Kelda, going in with only 2 lives left and saying, okay, well, I'm not only going to knock off an exoskeleton marker, but I'm also just going to then kill a meso with my Hoplitron and just completely reduce the effectiveness of your next 2 turns, basically.
Yeah, no, that was a great play there. And I think it was a lot of like just good little plays like that that kind of really just brought the game to a head for Veggie there. Captain Stupendous also making good plays, but just those, I think those little things where Veggie was like able to get a bit of an edge here, a bit of an edge there, and then just eke out that win for a really close game.
Oh yeah, well, and I'm sure I'm sure Luke was cursing the dice. I certainly would be. Not that you want to blame the D20, but Veggie cruelly stealing out 2 key initiatives, not just with an initiative win, but with a tie, and then the initiative win, just to drag out that hope a little bit longer. When Van Nessing was in trouble and when Morgaloth was in trouble, just to really drive the nail home.
Just cruel.
No, I am winning this game. Yeah, those 2 initiatives, those were key, and I think Captain Stupendous made the right play playing for both of those. He seemed to be a little bit on the back foot from the start. When he put those wounds on X17, that definitely got him back in the game.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at a certain point you just have to set those order markers down and kiss your dice, or your mouse in this case, and hope that roll is a magical one. And tying on a 19, I mean, that must have felt so good to see that number, only to have your stomach sink when you see it on Veggie's screen. Yeah,
and then the reroll to have it just eke away from you.
Yeah. No, this was fun. This was a really high level game. Lots of moving pieces, so we really got to see some impressive, really quite impressive order marker management on both players' parts. Although, yeah, definitely Captain Stupendous from the start having to be a little riskier with his order markers once Van Nessing took 4 wounds in a single swoop. um, that definitely changed the flow of the game. But yeah, even still, they both manage order markers incredibly well for such like complex cross synergistic armies, and also each piece countering something on the board, but also being completely countered by something else, makes for such a fun game.
It truly does, yeah. Like one of my favorite ways to watch Heroscape, with the high level order marker management, just good players doing their thing. So, yeah, very enjoyable game. Very glad you were able to join for this one, RyGuy.
Yeah, no, this was super fun. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it was great having you on. We'll definitely have to do it again. Um, let's see. Before we sign off, do you have anything that you would like to say, endorse, plug, share, etc.?
Oh, well, I've got an Etsy store. It's got some Heroscape stuff on there, some shirts,
Oh, nice.
mugs, etc. It's got Heroscape artwork, done in a sort of like pop comic style, and you can go check that out. People have been using them for like prizes and stuff at tournaments, like for live tournaments. I'm helping support the Sir Heroscape Champions Circle League qualifiers with just a small amount of gift cards to high finishers. So that's been really fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got a fiction thread. You could go check that out. This is now a shameless self promotion. This has nothing to do with Heroscape, but I've got a book coming out soon. It will probably be released by the time this video comes out. So if you like my Heroscape fan fiction on the site, you're definitely welcome to check that out. The arc is available for free on my website. What else? I promise this is not the only reason I came on this channel.
Well, I believe it, because you're not hitting a huge audience.
The last thing, I host tournaments, live tournaments in Lincoln, Nebraska, a couple times a year. Right now it's twice a year, but it might be 3 times. There will probably be one coming up mid to late May or early June, sometime in there. So if you're in the Midwest area at all, or you want to take a vacation to good old Nebraska. In the summer, it's beautiful out there.
Okay.
There's lots to do in Lincoln. We've had 2 tournaments so far, and we've had about 20 unique participants. So it's growing quite nicely, and tournaments are always fun. They're in a local gaming cafe, so it's a really nice atmosphere.
That sounds way cool, actually.
Tons of fun. So yeah, if you're listening and you're interested, come check it out. We've got newer players coming to the scene, and we've had some veterans from the good old days come and hop in on the tournaments. So yeah, if you're in the area within driving distance, or anything like that, definitely think about it. It's a good time.
Yeah, hooking up with a live local scene is one of the best ways to experience Heroscape. I mean, there are so many good ways to experience Heroscape, but it is definitely top class there. So
I agree. Tournaments are the cornerstone of the community, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like, with just such the good Heroscape community that we have, being able to meet up with people, online is great. In person, though, there's just like that added atmosphere there. So that sounds awesome. I took notes on so I'll have links to all of those in below in the description if you want to check those out. The tourneys, the Etsy, the fan fiction will all be up in there. Or I guess, sorry, it's in the fan fiction area, but it is just fiction, right? I think you said?
Yes. Well, I wrote some Heroscape fan fiction, and
okay, and you are also working on your own.
Other writing on the side if you want to check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have links for all that in the description below, so make sure you check it out. And thank you so much for joining, RyGuy. It was great having you on.
Yeah, this was super fun.
All right, and with that, we'll sign on off. Everybody, thank you, viewers, for viewing, of course, and always remember what a wonderful world it is that we live in. And this will be 10 points under and out.